welcome you all to my YouTube channel. Presenting before you this tutorial is Tutor Harrison J. Zulu, and I want to teach you how you can solve a cubic equation or a cubic polynomial. So these are some of the equations that we are going to solve together. There are more questions that I want you to practice through. So I want us to answer these two equations together and see how far we can answer the work that I'm going to give you. So if you are new to this YouTube channel, don't forget to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. So we want to answer these questions. These are the questions that we want to answer. So we've got the first question there. So what is the question saying? So the question is find the roots for. So want to find the roots for this. So want to find the roots for that. Have you seen? Want to find the roots for this equation. Or in other words, we want to solve this equation that is here. So how can you solve this equation? There are two methods in which you can solve this equation that is here. One, you can use the factor method. So you can use the factor method where you get to find the factors. So you can use this method, or you can use the factorization method. So we've got two methods in which you can solve this. So we are going to test these two. So whenever you are given a cubic equation and you are told to solve that equation, the first thing that you need to consider, first you need to try what? Factorization method. You try if factorization is going to work out. Have you seen? So you try if factorization is going to work out. What do I mean by factorization? You try if you put these numbers like this. Have you seen? You put them like this. You factorize this, you factorize this, if you are going to have same what? Same thing in the brackets. So if you try to factorize this, what is common here? X what? Cubed. You do this. There it's x plus what? What remains there is 1, like this. You say minus. So what is common there? It's 9, like this. You say 9 into 9x, it's x. Negative, that's positive. Then 1, like this. Have you seen? Equal to what? Equal to 0. So we've tried factorization and we've seen that it has worked out. These two are the what? These two are the same. Which means that when it gives you something like this, then you can proceed. Have you seen? So whenever you are given a cubic equation, or rather a cubic polynomial, what you need to do first, the first thing is that you need to check by factorization method. You check if you are going to have same answers like this. Have you seen? You check if you are going to have same what? Same answers. Have you seen? So this is the first thing that you are supposed to do. So when you do this now, you get this. Have you seen? You say x plus 1 like this. Even those x are squared minus 9 like this, which is equal to what? Which is equal to 0. This is what you are going to do. So the moment you just reach here, you need to do, the moment you just reach here, have you seen? This one is okay like that, x plus 1 like this. It is fine the way it is. But this other one here, have you seen? This is a difference of two squares. So you can further do what? Factorize that. So how do we factorize difference of two squares? So when you are given x squared minus 9 like this, you say x squared like that. What is the square root of 3? Square root of 9, it is 3 squared. So the square root of 9 is 3 like this. So after you do this now, you say here, have you seen? You just pick one, x minus 3 like this, then x plus 3. Have you seen? So this is the answer here. So same applies here. So when you factorize this, this is a difference of two squares. So the moment you just factorize this, what you're going to remain with like this, it is what? X minus 3. So we've got x minus 3, then x plus 3, which is equal to what? Which is equal to 0 like this. So this is what you are supposed to do. So when you reach here now, The other thing that you are going to do, you are going to get this equated to 0. You get this equated to 0, even that equates to 0. So it means x plus 1 equal to 0, or x minus 3 equal to 0, or x plus 3 equal to what? Equal to 0. So what are the answers? What answers are you going to get here? So the answers that you are going to get, you know that when this one goes that side, it's minus. So this is x is equal to negative 1, or x is equal to what? X is equal to 3. These are the answers that you are getting. Or x is equal to what? Negative 3. So these are your what? These are your answers. This is how you get to solve a cubic equation, or rather a cubic polynomial. So these are the steps that you need to follow and understand. Now let us look at another question now, which is on question 2. So this other question, we've got this other question. How can we solve this other equation? So how can you solve that? So how can we solve that? So we are going to answer this one. How can we answer this? So the way we are going to answer this one, it is what? It is x cubed minus 2x squared minus 5x plus 6, which is equal to what? Equal to 0, like that. So you try factorization like this. You try out factorization. So here, what is common here? What is common is x squared, like this. Here, what are you going to have? X minus what? Here, squared 2, like this. Minus there, it's what's common is 1, like this. 1. So 5x plus 6, like this, which is equal to 0. Have you seen? So when you check, these two are not the same, which means that factorization here cannot do what? Cannot work. So since factorization cannot work here, what we are going to do is that we are going to try another method now, which is what? The factor method. So if this one has failed to work, we are going to try the factor method. So how do we try the factor method? So you are given x cubed minus 2x squared minus this plus what? Plus 6, which is equal to what? Which is equal to 0 now. So what you are going to do is that you are going to try numbers. So I can give you one thing that you need to try out. So whenever you are given under the factor method, so under the factor method, the first number that you need to start with, so the first number that you need to start with is what? Is you need to start with negative 1. Have you seen? So I can advise you to be starting with negative 1, 1, like this, negative 2, then 2, like this, negative 3, 3, like this. These are the numbers that we are going to put there. So we see if it is going to give us what? A 0. And whenever it gives us a 0, which means that that is a what? That is a factor. So I'm going to try to put negative 1 here. So when I put negative 1 there, negative 1 cubed minus 2, negative 1 squared minus 5, negative 1 plus 6. What do you get? So negative 1 squared, what is negative 1 squared? Negative 1 squared, it is negative 1. Negative 1 negative 1 cubed, that's negative 1. Negative 1 squared, that is positive 1. Positive 1 times 2, that is negative 2 here. We've got a negative there, a negative 2, like that. Then we say minus, so positive what? 5 plus 6. What are we going to get here? So this one, what is the answer here? What answer are we going to get here? So what answer are we going to get here? We check the answer that we are going to get here. So here it is negative 3. So negative what? Negative 3. We get negative 3. So this is the what? Negative 3. We get negative 3. Then here plus 5 plus 6. Have you seen? So here, as you can see here, we got negative 3 plus 11. This one is not equal to 0, which means that it is not what? It is not a factor. I go to this one here, I go to 1. Have you seen? I'll go to what? I'll go to 1. So let me try to put in 1 there. So this is how you need to be going. So you put 1 there. Let's say 1, cubed minus 1, this is positive 1 squared minus 5, 1 plus 6. What answer there? There you get 1 minus here. What are you going to get? You get 2 there. You're going to get 2. Then minus this plus that. So this one, what answer are you going to get here? 1 minus 2. That's negative 1. Negative 5 plus 6. That is positive 1. So this one is equal to 0. Here we are going to have 0 is equal to what? Equal to 0. Have you seen? So since I've gotten this one, the factor here is what? What is the factor? The factor here, I was putting in what? 1, positive 1. So the factor will be the what? The opposite. Have you seen? So the factor now, I was putting 1. So I know I was putting what? I was putting 1. So I was putting 1. So in this case here, I was putting what? I was putting 1. So since I was putting 1, factor is what? Factor is x minus 1. So if you were putting in negative 1 that gave you 0, here it must come positive 1. Just the opposite. Have you seen? So this is my what? This is my factor. So if this is my factor now, I'm going to divide this using which method? I'm going to use synthetic method. Which is what? Synthetic method. It is the one that I'm going to use. I'm going to use synthetic method. How do we use synthetic method? So synthetic method is what? Conditional. For you to answer a synthetic equation using synthetic method, for you to divide the two polynomials using synthetic division. So we know that each time we are talking about this, we know that this one will become a what? A divisor. This one will become the what? The dividend. So we need to make sure that the divisor is a what? Is a linear. Have you seen? So we need to make sure that the divisor is a linear. So we don't use the synthetic method anyhow. We need to make sure that the divisor here, the divisor is what? Is a linear. Have you seen? So this is when we use the synthetic method. We need to make sure that the divisor is a what? The divisor is a linear. So these are some of the things that you need to know and understand. So we are going to use synthetic method. So we are going to use synthetic method. So how do we apply the synthetic method now? How do we apply the synthetic method? So synthetic method, we are going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. So I've got a factor here. What factor am I having? I'm having a factor which is x minus 1. So I equate to 0 like this. Then x there will be what? 1. Have you seen? So I'm going to put a 1 there. So I solved this what? This divisor. So whenever you solve a divisor, you equate to 0. Here we need to put a plus there. So we need to put a what? A plus. Have you seen? This is what you need to do. But when you get it the way it is like this, here you say negative 1. Here you need to put what? A negative. Here you need to put a negative. Then we get the coefficients there. So we just get the what? The coefficients. So we just need to get the coefficients. So what are the coefficients there? Coefficient is 1 there. So we've got 1. Which other one do we have? So we've got 1. Which other numbers? Negative 2 there. Negative 5 there. Then we've got what? A 6 there. This is what we are going to do. So this is what we are going to do. So with this now, this one comes down here. This one will come down. We've got a 1. So you multiply 1 times 1. It is 1. Have you seen? Then negative 2 plus 1. It is negative 1. So you say negative 1. 1 times negative 1. You get what? You get negative 1. Negative 5 plus negative 1. What do you get? You get negative what? Negative 6 like this. Then 1 times negative 6. What do you get? You get negative 6. 6 plus negative 6. You get a 0 there. So the remainder there, it is a what? It is a 0. So how do we go about this one? So the way we are going to get the what? We are going to get this. We are going to get this. This is our what? Our solution. So these are the solutions that we are going to get in this question. So there, it was starting with what? It was starting with the cubed. Have you seen? It had a what? It had a cube there. So this one will reduce by 1. So all the answers here will reduce by what? Will reduce by 1. So what are we going to have? So this one, the coefficient is 1. So it is x squared minus, this one will be what? So have you seen, this one will be negative x like this. Then minus what? 6 there. Then this is the remainder. We just leave it like that. So now we are going to get this other one. Have you seen? So we formed, this is now a what? A quadratic expression. So we formed a quadratic what? A quadratic expression. This is a quadratic expression that we have formed. So now we are going to solve this quadratic what? This quadratic expression. So we are going to solve this quadratic expression that is here. So when I solve this quadratic expression, then I get the factor there, then put them together, then equate them to what? To 0. This is what I'm going to do. So how do we solve this? So how do we solve this? So I'm going to write it here so that we understand. So it is what? It is x squared minus x minus 6 like this. We solve that. So how can you solve that now? So the way you are going to solve this one is that what is your product? Your product is negative 6. You know there it's 1. 1 times negative 6, it is negative 6. What is your sum? You check your sum. What is your sum? Your sum is negative 1. What are your factors now? What are your factors? You check your what? You check your factors. So in this case, what are our factors? So our factors in this case now, two numbers that we can add to get negative 1. And if you multiply them, we get negative 6. So what are those numbers? Negative 3 and what? 2. So when you add these, you get what? You get negative 1. When you multiply these, you are going to get negative 6. So which means that since the coefficient there is 1, you just go direct. Say x minus 3 like this. Then you say x plus what? 2 like this. So this is how you factorized this quadratic expression. So you get these answers plus the factor there. Have you seen? So we are going to have something like this. We are going to have something like this. X minus 1, the factor there. X minus 3, x plus 2, which is equal to what? Which is equal to 0. So we want to solve that. So we've gotten this, what? We wanted this, we've gotten this. So now, 1, 2, these 2 are here. Plus the factor there. So have you seen the answers are what? Are 3. And we add a what? We add a cubic equation there. So this is what you are going to do. So with this now, what you are going to say is that when you equate x minus 1, you say equal to 0. Or you're going to have what? X minus 3 equal to 0 like this. So I'm going to wrap this part. We are done with this. So what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do. So this is what I'm going to do. So also this one will be what? Or x plus 2 is equal to what? 0. So this one, when this one goes aside, that is x is equal to what? 1. Or x is equal to what? 3. Or x is equal to what? Negative 2. So these are your what? These are your answers. This is how you get to answer that one. This is how you get to answer. So I've taught you how you can solve a cubic what? A cubic polynomial just by using these what? These ways. Have you seen? This is how you need to answer this one. This is how you need to solve this one. Anything that you are given to solve, be it maybe it can have a power 4. This is how you need to go about. You need to be finding what? Factors until you come up with a quadratic equation. Then you solve that. So let me give you a question that you are going to practice to try out this. So these are your practice questions. These are questions that will help you. So we've got the first one. We've got x cubed minus 3x squared minus x plus 3, which is equal to 0. I want you to solve this. Then we've got this other one. So I want you also to solve this one. So this is like this. It is like this. I want you to answer this one. Like this. These are the two equations that I want you to solve. So I want you to try these two equations here. So try to solve these two equations which are given here and practice through. Thank you so much. So if you are new to this YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe, and let's not forget to hit the like button so that this video can attract more people. Thank you so much.